A permit is an official document issued by a governmental agency that allows an individual or business to perform a specific activity that would otherwise be prohibited. Let's explore the main categories of permits that are commonly used in society. These categories include construction permits, business permits, environmental permits, and special event permits. Each of these serves a different purpose and is regulated by different government agencies. Let's start with construction permits. Construction permits are required for building, renovating, or demolishing structures. These permits ensure that construction projects meet building codes, zoning regulations, and safety standards. Common types of construction permits include building permits for new construction, renovation permits for modifying existing structures, demolition permits, electrical permits, plumbing permits, and mechanical permits for HVAC systems. For example, if you're building a new house, you would need a building permit. If you're updating your electrical system, you would need an electrical permit. These ensure that all work is done safely and according to local regulations. Next, let's look at business permits. Business permits allow companies to operate legally within a jurisdiction. These permits ensure that businesses comply with local regulations, tax requirements, and zoning laws. Types of business permits include general business licenses, which are required for almost all businesses, professional licenses for specific occupations like doctors or lawyers, health permits for food establishments, liquor licenses for selling alcohol, and specialized industry permits for activities like manufacturing or waste management. For instance, if you want to open a restaurant, you would need several permits: a general business license, a health department permit, and possibly a liquor license if you plan to serve alcohol. Each of these permits has specific requirements and fees. Environmental permits are another important category. Environmental permits regulate activities that might impact the environment. These permits help protect natural resources, prevent pollution, and ensure sustainable practices. Common environmental permits include air quality permits for controlling emissions, water discharge permits for regulating what can be discharged into water bodies, wetland permits for activities in protected wetland areas, and waste management permits for handling, storing, or disposing of waste materials. For example, a factory that produces emissions would need an air quality permit, while a company that discharges water as part of its operations would need a water discharge permit. These ensure that environmental impact is monitored and minimized. Finally, let's discuss special event permits. Special event permits are required for temporary activities that may affect public spaces or services. These permits help ensure public safety, manage traffic, and coordinate resources during events. Common types include parade permits for organized marches, street closure permits for block parties or festivals, noise permits for concerts or loud events, and temporary food service permits for food vendors at events. For example, if you're organizing a community festival, you might need a street closure permit to block off a road, a noise permit if you'll have music, and temporary food service permits for food vendors. These ensure the event is safe and minimally disruptive. Now, let's briefly look at the general permit application process. While specific requirements vary, most permit processes follow these basic steps. First, determine which permits you need by researching local requirements or consulting with the appropriate government agency. Second, gather the required documentation, which might include identification, proof of insurance plans or drawings, and other supporting materials. Third, submit your application along with any required fees to the appropriate agency. Next, wait for your application to be reviewed. This may involve inspections or additional information requests. Finally, if approved, you'll receive your permit, which may have conditions or an expiration date. For example, when applying for a building permit, you typically need to submit construction plans, pay a fee based on the project value, and possibly undergo several inspections during the construction process. In conclusion, permits play a vital role in maintaining public safety, protecting the environment, and ensuring orderly development in our communities. The four main categories we've discussed: construction permits, business permits, environmental permits, and special event permits, each serve specific purposes and are regulated by different government agencies. Understanding which permits you need and following the proper application process is essential for legal compliance and avoiding penalties. Remember that permit requirements vary by location, so it's always best to check with your local government agencies for specific requirements in your area.